All right, let's skip the small talk today because we are stepping right into the middle of a seriously high-stakes financial crossroads. Welcome to The Explainer. You know, right now, millions of people are essentially just following a script that they were handed at birth. You go to school, you get a steady job, you buy a house, and then you spend the next 30 years paying it off. But what if that script wasn't actually written for your benefit? Today, we're exploring a pretty radical alternative presented by a group called Purposeful Global Living and Investing. We're going to break down their intense, totally unapologetic mission to help people escape traditional financial systems, live audaciously, and really embrace global opportunities. Because if the standard American dream is starting to feel a little bit like a cage to you, well, there's an urgent window right now to join a completely different path. Let's look at how to rewrite that script.
Listen to this. The organizers of this movement absolutely do not mince words. They say, and I quote, "Forget about the 30 years or more mortgage. That's an illusion, that's a trap, that's a slavery system to split your life into paying your debt before you die." Wow. I mean, that is the urgent philosophy driving their entire movement. They argue that traditional bank debt, and specifically that classic 30-year mortgage, is quite literally designed by the banking industry to take hold of your soul. They view the average worker as basically just working for the big guy, completely strapped down by a system that extracts all of your most productive years. Their argument is crystal clear here. Waiting until you are 60 to actually own your own life? That's not a plan. That is a trap.
Okay, let's dive into this. We are looking at two vastly different ways to play the game. The traditional banking plan wants to tie you down to one location and one income stream for decades. But this group operates on what we can call the radical rule. It's simple. Any investment you make must yield a return in no more than 5 years. 5 years. If it takes longer than that to get your return on investment, their advice is blunt. Get out of it. And this actually has nothing to do with your age. It has entirely to do with the potential of the investment itself and freeing up your capital so you can actually live your life. They firmly believe that tying yourself down for decades is a mindset that the banks have essentially brainwashed us into accepting.
So to actually mobilize this philosophy, the group hosts weekly educational meetings. These usually happen on Saturday mornings or Wednesday evenings in North Carolina. And the urgent goal here isn't just about hoarding personal wealth, right? It's about educating Americans to build real, sustainable living experiences for future generations, and doing it while they are still young in life rather than waiting around for retirement. It's a community built specifically for people who value sustainability, global awareness, and long-term thinking. They're coming together to share perspectives and figure out exactly how to navigate living and investing abroad. It's all about intentional, purpose-driven community building so you can escape that traditional matrix right now. Now, to get their members from feeling stuck in the mud to actually designing a flourishing life, they utilize a very specific roadmap. Step 1 is discover. That's finding your purpose, meaning, and adopting a truly global mindset. Second is learn, focusing heavily on resilience, sustainable living, and self-reliance. Third is connect, which is all about community building, wellness, and human flourishing. Fourth is explore. These are the practical considerations of living and investing abroad, really expanding your geography of opportunity. And finally, create. Building the future together through purposeful investing and co-creating regenerative communities. So this isn't just some abstract theory we're talking about. This is a literal step-by-step curriculum for a completely new trajectory in life.
But here is a fascinating psychological twist. While planning all this, the organizers realized that making people actually commute to their local meetings acts as a built-in practical test. Think about it. If you're going to complain about driving 20 minutes across Charlotte in traffic, you probably aren't ready to relocate to a totally different continent. It acts as a physical filter. They know that if you are willing to get in your car and travel across town just to learn, it proves you actually possess the serious desire and the mobility required to eventually travel and invest abroad. They are essentially testing the system locally in order to build a global community.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. Enter the villa at Bahia Reboot in Valencia, Bahia, Brazil. This right here is their real-world example of escaping the traditional system. It's a regenerative eco-resort where tropical architecture, wellness, and fractional ownership all converge. It's designed to be a living sanctuary. The group uses this massive project to show its members that, yes, you really can co-create something rare and deeply rooted in nature, instead of just pouring your life savings into a cookie-cutter suburban home that literally keeps you tied to a desk.
So you might be wondering, how does this actually hit that strict 5-year ROI rule? They do it through a highly structured fractional ownership model.
First off, investors get a sectional title per chalet, meaning you literally hold the legal deed to your specific fraction of the real estate. It's not just some glorified club membership. Second, there are quarterly passive income distributions with complete transparency right from day one of operations. And third, you actually get personal access of up to 17 weeks per year in your own tropical sanctuary. By combining real deeded equity with immediate passive income, they've presented a model that's specifically designed to generate that rapid return on investment while also giving you a tangible upgrade to your actual lifestyle.
Now, the absolute magic number making all of this work is 5. Fractional ownership at the Bahia Reboot is strictly limited to a maximum of just 5 investors per chalet. No way is this some massive faceless timeshare corporation. By keeping the investor pool this small, early participants are granted preferred access and peak season priority. But most importantly, it creates a super tight-knit sense of co-stewardship and provides the strongest possible long-term upside as the broader community expands. It's all about maintaining true exclusivity and a profound personal connection to the project.
But, living purposefully goes far beyond the real estate itself. The on-site Bahia Reboot boutique stores highlight a truly holistic ecosystem. They aren't just shipping in random luxury goods. They are actively elevating 100% organic products harvested directly from the retreat zone land and from local eco-friendly farmers. We're talking naturally dried mangoes, jackfruit core meat, raw cacao nibs, and premium mineral and coconut water sourced straight from the hills of Bahia. It is an active, real-world demonstration of food sovereignty and directly supporting the local agricultural heritage.
And this whole project is really a living, breathing master plan. It starts off intimately, with revenue-generating glamping tents and chalets, but the vision rapidly expands from there. Soon, it'll incorporate community gardens and a farm-to-table gourmet area to utilize all those organic goods we just talked about. From there, it adds holistic spa and wellness programming, and eventually scales all the way up to a refined boutique convention center down at the creek. Every single phase is meticulously planned to honor the land while also ensuring the financial and communal health of the investors.
The ultimate philosophy of this group is that the reboot doesn't end. It evolves. You aren't just taking a trip and then returning to your old life. You are returning to a completely new relationship with yourself. The group fundamentally believes that once you step out of that traditional slavery system of decades-long debt, and once you actually experience true vitality and global mobility, you simply cannot unknow what that feels like. Leaving a place like the Bahia Reboot isn't the end of a vacation. It's the beginning of a new awareness, new habits, new clarity, and totally new energy. You walk away with a completely new standard for exactly how you want to feel every single day. Which brings us right back to the exact question Purposeful Global Living asks its members on day one. What does a successful life actually look like for you? Is it spending 30 years paying off a bank, or is it taking decisive action right now to design a future that's worth living in today? The blueprint is out there, folks. The communities are forming as we speak. The next move is yours. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope it sparked a new way of looking at your own global possibilities.